Okay, so I'm going to play with Popeye's chin now. So I built this brown oval. I'm going to grow it a little bit. And because it's going off of the side, I now need to go to Image, Canvas Size. I don't want you to have anything cropped off of the edges. Canvas size is different than image size because it will not change your pixels. It will just give you more canvas around your pixels. So right now it's 10 by 8.3. As long as it's larger than 8 by 10, I'm good, but I want this to be quite a bit taller. So I'm going to make it 10 by 10. It's usually good to design emojis in a square. Okay, and now I have plenty of space to operate. Okay, now I'm going to duplicate that, Command J, and then use the Move tool and move that duplicated one over to the side. And then it looks like I want to move this one in a little bit. I'm trying to find kind of the center line there. Symmetry can really help. Because I want that butt chin, right? Now, how can I make that feel like it's all connected? I'm just looking at my vectors now. I'm going to use another oval. Like this. And I'm going to fill it with yellow. Double click, save that yellow. Then I'm going to duplicate that, Command J, all with shapes, move that over, like so. Then I'm just going to nudge it in a little bit with the arrow keys. Nudge that one in a little bit with the arrow keys. And now you see how I have kind of that butt chin, right? And I can go back to this original circle, and I can do two things. I can either duplicate it and then transform the duplicate, holding down Shift, make it a little bit longer, right-click, warp it. I'm trying to turn it into a Popeye head, which is more rectangular in a way. But I'm doing it to a duplicate, so I've still got the yellow circle behind. Or I could just change that yellow circle. But instead, I think I'm going to take that yellow circle behind and change that into an ear. So I'm going to duplicate it, Command J. Then Command T, shrink that, move it up here by the eye. Command J, or hit return, Command J, duplicate it, and then move it over with the Move tool to the other side. All right, what's next? I need a frown and a nose. And how can I get that? Well, let's go to my Shape Tools. I've only used rectangles and ellipses so far. I can try the Polygon tool just so you see. So the Polygon tool used to be the only tool. There used to not be a triangle tool, because the Polygon tool, you say how many sides you want it to have here. So you can use the Polygon tool. If you want a triangle, you just put 3, and then you get triangles, right? But let's try something different. Let's try 8, octagonal. And I'm going to do a shape like this, like a stop sign. I'm going to put it over the top of the yellow, and I'm going to make it the same brown as those circles at the chin by double-clicking and then clicking on that brown. Now what's interesting is that octagon is underneath these yellow circles, right? So if I move it on top, it'll be an octagon, like so. But if I move it underneath those, it becomes kind of an interesting shadow shape for what a nose might be. And then if I right-click nope, I don't want to right click. I want to Command T and then right click. I can warp it and kind of round that a little bit. Try to keep it somewhat symmetrical. Hit return and then Command T, now that I've softened it, and scale it, holding down Shift, scaling it down. And I get this nice kind of rounded triangle, which shows the bottom of like the shadow under a nose. And if I want it to be a little bit different, I can always warp it, Command T and warp, and then kind of tuck it up on that side, tuck it up on this side, pull it down at the bridge of the nose. Now it looks a little bit more like an animal nose or something. And that way I haven't outlined the nose like my inspiration, but I've shown where the bottom of it is going into the mouth. So next, let me do a mouth. And I'm going to do that with the rectangle tool. Trying to think what the best way to do it would be. Yeah, I'll do it with the rectangle. Make a long rectangle, about the width I want the mouth to be. Fill it with a color. I'm going to make it red just so I can see it. Put it on top of everything so I can drag and drop like cutouts of paper. Or I can also hit Command right bracket to move it up above or down below. Command right bracket moves the layer up. Command left bracket moves it down. Now, I'm going to use the Move tool. I'm going to kind of center it. And I'm going to hit Command T and warp just to curve it from the middle. And the bottom. Hit return. Keep using the Move tool. Move it down as a frown, but it's too wide. So Command T, hold down Option, bring that into the middle. Hold down Shift to scale it and show it at the bottom of that nose shape, right? Okay, now I think I want to move all of these up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is select all of these, like I did with the compound shape there. But this time they're not stacked on top of each other. So let me see. Yeah, I don't want that one. So I'm going to use Command. I'm going to use Command to select this, this. Switch to the nose shape. I think that's all of them. And then put them into a group together. Actually, I don't even need to put them into a group together. I can hit Command T, and now I can stretch all of them. Holding down Shift and kind of move them all up, like so. All right. And I can still move them individually. Oh, they're still moving together because it's selected, but I can take the frown independently, just select that layer and move it down a little bit. So those are a little bit closer to the proportions I want. What's next? I don't think I need this big circle. I think that looks better. And then these ears, I think I want to make them a little boxier, even as an emoji. So I'm going to Command T. Oh, I got to click them first. So something that can really help here is to click with your Move tool on Auto Select Layer. That way you can just click on the shape and it will select that layer. So you don't have to go find the layer each time you want to transform it. Now I'm going to shrink it and I'm going to warp this ear and make it a little bit squared off. Like that. And hit return. And make it a little bit smaller as well. So about there. Good. I'm going to get rid of this one, and I'm going to duplicate this on both sides. So Command J, Command T. Now, because it's a lopsided shape, I can't just move it. Otherwise, the wrong side will go. So I also have to Command T and flip it horizontally. So I get that squared off side coming off of both sides. So that's good for matching ears or matching things side to side that are lopsided shapes. What else can I do? All right, I'm going to take the move tool again. I'm going to move this to be over the eye that's swollen shut. Just kind of how Popeye works, right? And then I'm going to duplicate it, Command J, move that one behind, and then Command T and grow it, and then choose a slightly darker color for it. So it looks swollen. Right? And then I can take both of those, hold down Shift, select them, Command T both of them, and distort them. So instead of being perfect circles, now I'll make them a little bit angular. I thought that would work. It doesn't really work. So what I'm going to do instead is just take the pink one, Command T it, and warp it. Oh, got to get just to this one. Command T and warp. So it doesn't show underneath. Instead, only shows on the top. So again, just a lot of trial and error. Trying to figure it out. And then for the shape underneath, Command T and warp. I'm trying to find kind of the shape that works better. There we go, something more like that. Just shows a little bit of the swollenness. And then I can even duplicate it again and then make a yellow version. Whoops. And then Command T and shrink that and warp it. So it looks like the eye's kind of pinched a little bit. And I'm thinking I need to just adjust this shape, this compound shape that I have grouped, the wink. But a lot of things got inside the wink, so I got to find it again. It's this on down. So these ones, I can Command T, distort, bring it down a little bit. There we go. Bring this in a little bit. To get me that swollen shut kind of eye. And then maybe for extreme effect, yeah, now that will work. Now this eye is maybe a little too big, so I'm going to Command T and shrink it. And then I'm going to duplicate it because he is blue-eyed. Make it a little bit bigger around, and then take the one underneath and change its color to a blue. So I'm going to find the right color. Keep it a little bit lighter. Maybe like that. All right, now I want the brow and the hat. So what can